Hey y'all! Today's foodie adventure was making a veggie loaf. It's a vegetized version of a meatloaf. I love this recipe. It's one of my favorites to make and to munch on. It's really delicious and easy to make. I love to serve it with mashed cauliflower and peas, kind of a play on the traditional meatloaf, potatoes and peas. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a taste. Yes, that glaze, the glaze really brings that flavor up. You get the tang from the apple cider vinegar, you get the sweetness from maple syrup, and then the loaf brings this hearty flavor underneath. It is absolutely incredible. And if you guys want to see how this loaf comes together, keep watching. Hey y'all, so I've got my prep ready for our veggie loaf. It's kind of a lot, or it looks like a lot, but it's really not that bad, and everything's going to go in the processor and mix up. Hidden back there is 2 cans of chickpeas, and then during the recipe I'll show you guys everything step by step, but that is my little prep station, and I'm ready to get going on this veggie loaf. Hey y'all! It's time to get started on our veggie loaf, a vegetized meatloaf. In my bowl here, I've already got my 2 cans of chickpeas rinsed and drained. And I was running out of room on my little island here, so I also combined some of our ingredients, and we're going to do just a dump here. So you start with your chickpeas in your bowl, and you're going to be doing batch processing. Just to make sure everything's getting combined and you're not bogging down the machine. Okay, so first, just dump in your drained and rinsed chickpeas. There we go. So in here, to save some space on my counters, I didn't have all of the ingredients out. I've got the 3 tablespoons of vegan Worcestershire sauce, which you can actually get online. I haven't found it in stores anywhere here where I live, so if you can find it in stores, good on you. So it's the 3 tablespoons of that, 1 tablespoon of hot sauce, because I love hot sauce, and then 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and a 1/4 cup of cilantro. I just had some cilantro left over, so I thought, why not add it? Okay, and then it's going to be 1 tablespoon of our yeast. Then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of the flaxseed. We've got, I don't know, maybe 3 tablespoons of onion. I'm not an onion person. I do like cooking with them, but not a lot. So onion can really be to tasting. I think 1/2 cup would be best for the whole loaf for people who actually enjoy a lot of onion, or a normal amount for me. Less is better. I actually had to prep my own onions today. I usually have my sous chef do that, but she was busy, aka my mom. And then we've got our 2 celery stalks. I'm just going to put half in since we're going to be doing batches. And then it calls for 2 diced carrots. I actually had these carrot sticks left over, so I'm just going to use the amount that I think 2 carrots would be. And then you want to do 2 tablespoons of garlic. And then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of panko. I got Italian style because I like to add seasoning in every step I can. Never skip a chance to season. 2 cups of that, so we're going to do 1 in this batch. So 1/2 cup of soy or almond milk, whichever you prefer, or coconut milk. Is that a thing now? I don't know, I've never tried it. I do almond or soy. Okay, got my 1/2 cup here. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to put the full 2 tablespoons. I can put the full amount of the milk, because the wet ingredients you can definitely add more for the second batch. 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke. I absolutely love this stuff. It smells so good. Oh, it's like you're at a barbecue. So I don't have a teaspoon. I have a 1/2 teaspoon, which is kind of perfect since we're batching. So it calls for 1 teaspoon. I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon in this batch. You want to be very careful with the amount that you use because it is very strong, but delicious. You need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, which I didn't open. 1 second. Okay, we've got our tomato paste open. I got a pretty large can because what we don't use in the loaf itself, we're actually going to use for the glaze on top of it. So we want 2 tablespoons. I'm going to go ahead and ahead and put both tablespoons in the first batch and then put 2 more in the second batch because I love the tomato flavor in my loaf. We've got all of the ingredients in the first batch. We're just going to put our lid on correctly. And then you're going to pulse it until it's mixed well, and then if you have to stop and scrape down the sides, go ahead and do that because you really want it all to combine. And then when this batch is mixed, put it in a large mixing bowl, get the second batch done, and then we'll meet back here. See you in a little bit. Okay, y'all, it's time to finish up our loaf and get it in the oven. But before we do that, we're going to actually make the glaze that goes on top. I'm gonna go ahead and get my loaf pan greased up and ready to go. I have this coconut spray. You can use regular oil and just spread it around with a paper towel, but I have this on hand, so I'm going to use it. Make sure you get it coated. Okay, then we're gonna set that aside and do our glaze. Now for the glaze, you're going to need a 1/4 cup of tomato paste. Okay, so I'm gonna put this into a bowl. Okay, next you need 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I have pancake syrup, it works the same. You could use honey too, but I think that the maple adds a different and a more complementary flavor. Next you need 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Okay, so then you're just going to mix that up. Make sure everything gets combined into a nice smooth glaze that we're gonna pour over the top of our loaf. Ooh, that is a fun smell. It's tangy and sweet. Okay, so it should start to look like a glaze, like a nice paste that we can put on top. Make sure everything's all combined. And then if you're not happy with the consistency and you wanna thin it out or add more, I would do just 1 more of each. So 2 tablespoons of the vinegar, 1 tablespoon of the soy sauce, and 2 of the maple syrup. That looks good to me. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to finish the last mixing step of our loaf. So here's the batches I got from my processor. I've washed my hands, and we are going to get a little dirty, so just combine the batches with your hands. And while you're doing this, you're checking for consistency as well. So if it's too wet, we'll add some more dry ingredients. If it's a little too dry, we can definitely pop in some more wet ingredients. So you're just looking for a nice loaf consistency, something that's going to hold its shape in the pan. Now that we've got it combined, we are going to wash our hands, and then we're going to pop it into our loaf pan. And I will be back to show you guys how that goes. Okay, y'all, we've got our loaf in our pan, and I'm just gonna take a spoonula here and I'm gonna smear out, kind of level it out. Make sure I'm pressing it into the pan. You really want to press it so that it conforms to the entire shape of the pan. And that's where the oil comes in. You want to make sure you've got your pan thoroughly greased. And you can also do the parchment paper trick where you put a strip of parchment paper on the bottom so that you can lift your loaf out. I never have parchment paper, so I'm just not going to do that. Okay, so now that you've got your loaf in the pan like that, we're going to put it into our oven that's been preheating at 375 degrees. Losing my spectacles. And it's going to bake uncovered without the glaze for 30 minutes at 375 degrees. So let's go ahead and pop it in the oven. Okay, y'all, we're gonna get this in the oven. Trying to show you guys while holding. It's tricky. Okay, in the 375 degree oven for 30 minutes. Good luck, little loaf. Okay, I will see you guys back in 30 minutes. Hey y'all, we've got our loaf out of the oven. It was in there for 30 minutes, deglazed, no covering. We're going to go ahead and pour our glaze right on top. Make sure we cover the whole loaf in this delicious glaze. So, give you guys a little peek. That's our glazed loaf. We're going to pop it right back into the oven uncovered for another 25 minutes at 375. Wish it luck. Okay, y'all, it's been 25 minutes in the 375-degree oven for our loaf, and it is ready. I'm going to let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes before cutting it. So that is it for this one, y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow on social media, and I'll see y'all in the next one. What are you doing? I can see you in the camera, Zeusy. Oh, well, there's Zeus. Zeus loves the loaf too. Gotta clean my spectacles or I won't be able to see y'all. I won't be able to see. There you all are. My recipe's on my phone, guys, and I started filming before I got it off of my phone. I'll be back. So it calls for half a cup, but I poured a whole cup. 1 second, guys, I poured too much.